Will be okay. Yes, and we are live on the tube, Twitch, Facebook Nation. What's going on with you? Oh man. Oh yeah. So what we're seeing, man, $13,000. Yeah, I want to talk about this Nawab. How you doing, Nawab? Yeah, y'all tap in, man. Let's tap in. Let's talk about this receipt that a migrant left at the store, and probably a poor civilian, maybe just a concerned civilian. Somebody thought, man, that's a huge food stamp balance, $13,000. It's pretty big. That's a lot of food stamps, and so I want to talk about it. We got some videos we're gonna share with YouTube. We're gonna watch them on YouTube, Facebook. We just want to react to those. Crown Dion. Ah man, Glenny Sutton, how you doing? I want to talk to some family people, man. What's my family people? People that may realize that, I mean, you don't even have to be a recipient of food stamps or never had to receive food stamps to understand that food stamp receipt in the back of me is very substantial. I know a lot of mothers that could use a food stamp balance like that. And look at the cash balance. A cash balance of about, let me see, I think $4,400. That's, $44.98. Yeah, that's $4,500. Cash balance. Migrants living a lot better than a lot of our poor people in America. Glenny, what you know about it? What you know about that balance in the background? So if you're just a regular shopper, no matter if you're working a 9 to 5, working a hard job, single mom, single dad, single grandmother, doing the job, Percival, Thomas, Freddie, what's going on with you, man? What you see in the background is a receipt that a migrant left at the store, and somebody thought it was shocking. So, I looked like the store clerk thought it was shocking, but yeah, they agreed to let that person take a picture. Look at that receipt. Who couldn't use $13,000 in food stamps right now? I don't care if you get food stamps or not. 13 band? Whoa. Ray J, RJ, RJP, John, Charlotte. How you doing, Charlotte? Charlotte, are you a mother? John's. Charlotte, how are you a mother? Can I get a mother to talk to me, especially a mother that may receive assistance, not because she received assistance, but how hard is it? I mean, I've received assistance before in my life, so I'm not above the assistance level. I have definitely received assistance. But when I see a receipt with $13,000 on it, that tells me, one, this person does not need food stamps. They don't need food stamps at all. Pretty Blasian. Pretty Blasian has told me she's a mother. As a mother, I'm talking about as a mother. Could you use $13,000 worth of food stamps right now? Could you use $4,000 in cash assistance? 4,400 and something to be exact. I was shocked. So I just thought to myself, it's Saturday. John Malloy, Dalen, Victoria, Victorian, and Stephen Ballard. The Victoria, are you a mother? Pretty Blazing said, definitely. What you're looking at is you're looking at a migrant walking to the store. Times are good. America has been good to me. So I only need to spend $24 today. I only need to spend $24. America's great. The American dream is working out so good. I think I'll go buy a couple of bags of shrimp maybe orange juice to go with the Moscato. Yeah. But in the meantime, I have about $13,000. 13 dollars worth of food stamps. By the way, you know if you're living, if if you've ever hustled in the hood and sold your food stamps, you know what that means. You know what that means. 13,000 in stamps and 4,000 in cash, all off the taxpayers' money. That's deja vu on YouTube. Thank you. Understanding already. Dean, Zulu. What's going on, Zulu? K Mystery. Wow. I saw this receipt and I thought of all of the times that me as the regular guy, when I wasn't getting food stamps, to be honest, but I still want to buy them. You still know people that look around for other people that may sell them. Man, have you ever been in the hood or ever been around that type of life and you've had to sell them or know somebody that sold them? Whoa, you understand what that means a little bit more than most. That means if she got 13,000 in food stamps, hmm, that's a lot of cash. That's some cash on hand. Depending on who you're dealing with, half price. Some people are a little bit more generous. If you catch somebody with that kind of money on a stamp card, you might actually give them, 55%, maybe even 60, because you want to keep that. You want to keep that person in your corner, right? Woo! $13,000 worth of stamps, $4,000 in cash assistance. Man, they living good. And when I say living good, obviously, I'm just saying all off the taxpayers' money, as Deja Vu said, all off, a lot of our money. I mean, sisters and brothers and grandmas could use that. Veterans in the streets, homeless people could use that. $13,000. I mean, this ain't nothing to talk about alone. This is just something for some mothers to actually see and say, okay, I saw enough. I don't have to hear him talk about it. I'm upset enough just by seeing what he sold me. How hard was it for you to qualify the last time you qualified for stamps? If you're on this feed and you've ever qualified, what did you have to go through to get $101? I remember when I got out of prison. Of course, that was a long time ago. But I remember they gave me $100 a month. $100 every month. They said to me, I had no problem with it, but I'm just saying now in retrospect, they said to me, this is Photoshop. Is this real? My brother, I would hope so. I appreciate I actually appreciate that thought. But the person who posted it, I can't say, I don't know them personally. Nisha Pearson, other people might know her on her social media. Look her up, and it might help you determine whether whether she's a dramatic person or one of those people that just spread that type of propaganda. I don't know, so I can't say. I can only go by the post, and I can only go by knowing that it looks like a real receipt. And the cashiers that wear gloves these days, because money is so dirty. Money has changed its hands so fast and so much. They say money is a very dirty thing. So I'm with you. I'm with you, my brother. My friend. I would love to think it is, but when we actually consider the stories we've heard about how they're treating the migrants, about the amount of money these migrants are able to get, and then on top of that, if you're getting so much money, you know how I go, bro. You don't have to you might not have to spend it all, especially when they turn around giving you other subsidies, other different things, other different programs. And so you can let it, and they might not do to them or say to them, Trump just wants to, oh my gosh, what this guy, oh man. Somebody said something about Trump after seeing the receipt. I'm going to disregard what that person is talking about. All right. I'm going to disregard what that person is talking about. Obviously, that's a Democrat, and he's disappointed that we are seeing what the Biden administration and the Kamala Harris administration and agenda is going to look like. You're looking at a receipt of a migrant, is what we're told, what the poster has said, an EBT receipt with over $13,000 and a cash assistance receipt with over $4,000, almost $4,500. And all you can do is think about what Trump said. I don't know about you, buddy. And so anyway, having said that, YouTube, we got some more Charlemagne. Actually, not Charlemagne, not yet. But I want to play some clips that I have lined up with some more doubling down. I explained to y'all that you can get away with a lot when you're just the VP. You know, you can get away with a lot, and you know, some of those things may not be undiscovered, but she getting hit with a lot of different things, a lot of different, not just, Fox, not just Trump campaign, but a lot of black people who are tired of being insulted. A lot of black journalists who are coming forward, giving old footage. Oh man, Don Lemon, Don Lemon has one of the best clips, ironically, and it's probably something they will try to definitely erase because we know they don't want, it's nothing that they would allow Don Lemon to say now. But at that time, he could be upfront about Kamala, and he's saying the same thing that I said today. I'm gonna be totally honest. I saw a clip on Kamala today, and I said to myself, "Wow." I mean, really. I know a lot of people really don't. I said to myself, if this lady would actually embrace this clip, the commercial I saw on her was old. And see, that's the problem. It has to be old. So it was a commercial from when she was actually running to be a senator, and she was embracing her Indian heritage. And I'm not knocking it. What I'm saying is it was one of the best commercials I had ever saw. If she would embrace where her family came from, I understand her dad was a revolutionary. So I'm talking about, wait, let me change that. Not a Jamaican father, not the guy we understand to be the black guy, the very dark guy in Jamaica, but this guy may have been married to the mother. I don't really know, but he spoke, and I think she said her dad. When she was speaking of who her father was, it was like a revolutionary figure. Her mom did nothing but fight. Like, I'm looking at this clip, I'm looking at this commercial based on who she was and everything she grew up around before she got into her own political life. And I'm saying to myself, wow, if she actually embraced it, embraced who she was and stopped. And, it was a great story. And that is exactly what some of the other people are saying on some of these feeds. It's like, you have the type of life. If you look at everything that's going on today, look at what happened at the college campuses. Look at the kids, the way the youth, the way the Gen Z, the way these kids are down for somebody with Kamala Harris's background that she is actually running from. You just have to be willing to look up some of the stories. And I looked at it today, and I said to myself, some of the Democrats better be glad that they are making her run totally from the things that she embraced before.
Was an advisor for the Clinton campaign 2008, joins us now. Good to see you. What is Kamala?
Watch out. Watch how this guy has to, watch how she tries her best to water it down, as always. But I like how this guy handles it.
Kamala Harris so scared of in talking to what would seemingly be a friendly White House press corps?
Well, thanks for having me, Leland. Nice to see you again. I wouldn't.
I hate to add this in this manner, but this is also for those who can't see it on TikTok. Also, a woman of color. So those are the people that are gonna keep up front, with this narrative to continue to make this war, this a race war. Period.
Say that Vice President Harris is afraid. I think I heard her say just a couple of days ago, if Donald Trump has something to say, he should say it to her face.
Yeah. Say it to her face. This is what Kamala Harris is saying. Say it. If Donald Trump has something to say it to her face. Like, for you can turn around and get the media to start pushing this narrative about male machoism. Oh, too much testosterone, talking down on her, not talking to her. All of this BS. But that's her campaign. She's depending on him to do it like a fool. And she's depending on me and you, people of our color, particularly our Black women, to actually fall for it. Sad.
And I do just have to say that I think you nailed it on the head when you talked about Donald Trump and his intentions with going to the National Association of Black Journalists yesterday. He changed that conversation. Yeah. He comes across as being strong. And unfortunately, a lot of my friends and colleagues on the left fell for it hook, line, and sinker, as well as the media.
Well, thank you. We try to, they say blind squirrels get an acorn every once in a while, so thank you. But I come back to this. If Kamala Harris says, hey, if you want to say it to my face, Donald Trump, show up at a debate. By all accounts, they're going to debate in September. But I know there have been dozens of media organizations who have all put in requests for interviews with her. And she's a woman from a ticket, Biden-Harris, and a party that says the press are essential, and bashing the press is a threat to democracy. So why wouldn't she be giving interviews, you think?
I'm sure she will be giving interviews. I'm not in the middle of the Harris campaign, but I know they will be talking to the media as much as possible in the next 95 days.
Meanwhile,
this is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in
word salad,
understanding the significance of diplomacy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And it gets no better, really. It gets no better. She won't sit down. I don't know if most of the Democrats have realized that, but most of the things that we are hearing debunked and things that she's changing her position on, fracking, she's changing her position on this, changing her position on that. None of it is coming out of her mouth. It's coming from her surrogates, like that lady who actually we just heard from. And that's all we continue to get. A lot of surrogates talking for her, but she actually not saying anything.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There's a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling. I think you're falling into the trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American." That's it.
Don, I'm not falling in a trap. I'm not falling in. Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not falling into a trap by that. When she goes down her lineage, many Africans landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands. So she could indeed
Jamaica's
be
not America.
African American mixed with other races. But she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was born
did not
here
come
in
out of Jim Crow.
Okay, well let's go
saying.
into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
I'm not talking about Ted Cruz. This is not about Ted Cruz. You're changing the subject.
But you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy.
You're changing the subject. I want people to understand who they're listening to. That man was Don Lemon. Yeah, that's not good for Kamala. He's saying the same thing that the other guy just said, saying the same thing that I just said before I played it, because like I said, sometimes you have to embrace who you are, especially if you're trying to run for president. And listening to her story today and listening to her story, her background and her family, it's like, why would you not embrace that? I mean, that is almost calling black women stupid. That's almost saying women, not just black women, but white women as well. That's almost calling them stupid and saying that I need to lie to you to make you understand my story. What the hell? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy because her story, when like I said, she ran so far from it, you probably could never actually find a real story. And the more they actually show it, they probably would want to back off. I actually thought some of it was that good. I don't really understand why she's backing away from her story. Anyway, I thought it was great, and I thought it was even better that came from none other than Don Lemon. You know, when Don Lemon he's a gatekeeper. He likes nothing about Trump. Nothing about the Republican
on the
Party.
arms for when they start to
So
shrink in the
if he
wash.
said it,
Bearskin,
you can
no
believe he
BSTs
meant
are
it.
tighter on the arms and
And,
shoulders. Plus,
yeah, I
they
like
never
it.
shrink in the
I
wash.
like it.
Why? They're made with zero polyester. Instead, they're made with the world's finest American-grown Supima cotton for a luxuriously soft and strong finish. Our signature bearskin fit is longer and slimming on the belly, but tighter up top.
This other video with
Have this one weird gap that makes their arms look weak. That's because your average polyester shirts are purposefully baggy on the arms for when they start to shrink in the wash.
Yeah, I think,
Bearskin, no BSTs are tighter on the arms and shoulders. Plus, they never shrink in the wash. Why? They're made with zero polyester. Instead, they're made with the world's finest American-grown Supima cotton for a luxuriously soft and strong finish. Our signature bearskin fit is longer and slimming on the belly, but tighter up top to highlight your best features. This is the only premium anti-shrink t-shirt that feels soft as velvet and lasts twice as long as regular polycotton tees. Sad truth is that most name brand tees are designed to be disposable. That's because they're blended with up to 50% polyester and cheap cotton that never lasts. But hey, don't take our word for it. Take a look online and you'll see our competitors happily tell you that your shirt will get 5% smaller in the wash. That's why wearing plastic polyester t-shirts is total BS. We made bearskin no BS tees with 72% Supima cotton, the world's finest American-grown long staple cotton for an extra luxurious feel that prioritizes quality and craftsmanship. Supima is twice as strong as regular cotton to resist stretching, breaking, and tearing. It's also softer and more velvety than regular cotton fibers, and it will only get softer the more you wear it. Our cotton is then blended with 28% Sorota Agile polymer for mechanical stretch and strength that keeps bouncing back for more. The result? The only ultra-premium American cotton anti-shrink tees that feel soft, silky, and strong all at the same time. Plus, you'll get an incredible muscular fit, whether you're taller, smaller, bigger, or wider. There's a perfect bearskin no BS tee just for you. You're seeing this video because you can get a special 64.
And it gets scary. It really get a little scary, man. I mean, I'm just saying in my community, I worry about it because I guess I see a lot of my people, and if I'm not turning to social media, I'm scared. When I hear a lot of people around me, bye-bye. And when I hear a lot of people around me, though, that's kind of scary. It seems like some of our sisters are overly impressed, not just a little bit, but overly impressed. And I'm like, wow, are they watching the same thing that most of us are watching? And I don't know. A lot of times it's hard to tell. A lot of times it is really hard to tell. Um, yeah, so a lot of times we gotta get past that. Kamala Harris. Mm.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that.
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college. I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't. Because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she went she became a black person.
Just to be clear,
my mother, who raised me and my sister, was a proud woman. She was a brown woman.
I do want people to know on TikTok you're listening to what I listened to today earlier. Now, listening to this and ask yourself, why would she walk away from this story? Now it's too late. She has to embrace being black. But ask yourself, why did she put herself in the corner she is in after you hear, obviously, these are the older stories from CNN. That's what you have to do. You have to find the old information. So ask yourself, as she had to appeal herself to the Indian community and win votes, this is when she embraced her truth about her Indian heritage. And I thought it was, looking at it is different. And so we're seeing it on YouTube, we're seeing it on Facebook and Twitch. You can't see it, but you can hear it on TikTok. Ask yourself, why is this lady walking away from who she is, who her family is, who her heritage is, goodness, and the history of her family. Listen to this.
She was a woman with a heavy accent.
And her mother, Shamla Gopalan, was also the biggest influence in Kamala Harris's life.
The answer is absolutely yes, Joe.
After the big announcement, Harris's sister wrote in a Twitter post, "You can't know who Kamala Harris is without knowing who our mother was." In 1958, a precocious 19-year-old Indian, Gopalan traveled thousands of miles from her home and family to pursue a doctorate in nutrition and endocrinology in America.
Kamala Harris is not an encouragement to my two black daughters. Kamala Harris is an embarrassment to the black community. Because one, she's not black.
Kamala Harris is not black. Has been all over X, all over the socials. Everyone's talking about it. And I thought I would give my 2 cents. First of all, I want to make it very clear. I do not care about Kamala's race.
Only on the ticket because she is a black woman.
Committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the court.
I've known her a long.
Another DEI statement for Biden. Obviously, he was talking about Ketanji Jackson. Yeah, man. I thought, and because of that clip or the cutting of that clip, you didn't really hear the whole story about her mother and the guy that raised her or her father, not the Jamaican guy. That's kind of strange now that I think about it. And so maybe I'll look more into that. But she talks about another male figure in her life who is also somewhat revolutionary. And so it's like, lady, your mother came a long way, went through a lot. And I just don't understand why she put herself in a corner to where she would have to even deny something so inspiring, and like I said, to me, it's almost taking credit, or actually, why don't you trust the Spanish community? Why don't you trust the black community? Why don't you trust your own community with your story? Why don't you trust women to actually feel your story? What is it that's not good? Her paternal. Oh, okay. Thank you, deja vu. That was her paternal Indian grandfather. Yeah, and so you must have saw the whole thing. Actually, you shared it to me. Thank you. Yeah, man, I thought that was awesome. It's like it's in her genes. This is something that's in her genes, and she actually don't understand. Look, like or love or don't like or dislike or whatever when it comes to AOC. But AOC is embracing who she is. She does not walk away from who she is, does not walk away from her culture, and she fights and she lets it be known that I am somewhat in my own idea for the people. But at no point in time has AOC came to the black community and said, I am black. At no point in time has she even now she does. I have heard her pander at a rally or two. She will hit a southern drawl. Y'all, it's time to vote. I heard her in the Bronx with her fight. with the Cardi B when she had the Cardi B spirit, came on stage. But I will say, nevertheless, this has nothing to do with my dry comedy right now. But AOC, say what you want, will about her. She has been a fighter, has always embraced that part of her, and she has never pandered to the black community to say, this is why you should support me. I got some hood in me. Oh, I got black this and that. I'm black. I'm black. No, neither has Tulsi Gabbard. Neither has Candace Owens. You know, we have so many different people that actually stand up and say, and when I say Candace Owens, I mean like she don't have to appeal to be something else. These strong women are respected for being strong women most of the time, unless they're on The View. Sorry. I had to say that. I think they're more respected for other reasons. And you know, the Joy Reids of the world. But anyway, that's just my personal opinions. And this is not about that. This is about truth. So, man, if you get a chance, look that up. Kamala Harris's real story. It's on CNN, and like I say, you won't find it actually on CNN now. It's not going to be on their website. That's the last thing they want you to see. As a matter of fact, when they figure out people are passing it around like we are, they will get rid of it. It's too many different ways. I'm the GOAT. Yeah. Trump's plan. Join. All right. What's Trump's plan? Shan, how you doing? Unknown. I like it. Yes, man. I don't know why. We are having a storm, so I noticed that I keep losing a lot of people. I appreciate y'all for those that are coming back. What's up, Victoria, Frank 357, Augustus, Tristan? Oh man, yeah. Y'all missed a lot, man. It's on the storm though. We're having a storm in Florida. Curious. We just played a nice little montage. One of Joe Biden. A lot of this is Joe Biden's fault. Joe Biden is the one that came out and say, I will select a female vice president and she will be black. That is significant of a DEI hire. We just heard him say, I will select a black woman to the courts. Do I need to play that again? Can we play that again? Yeah, I can play it again.
Only on the ticket because she is a black woman.
Committed that if I'm elected president, have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the court.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly, very much. And
so yeah, that's a lot of that. A lot of the DEI stuff is Joe Biden's fault. They just have to swallow it, and it's sad that. No, sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's a good thing I don't have a whole bunch of viewers. They'll say that I said Kamala needs to. All right. So anyway, it's a shame that they can see something, blame something on Trump. This is how this is going to happen. This is how that is going to happen. And as soon as it actually happens, they ignore it. They ignore it totally. Man. So I don't know who the VP is going to be. I really don't think it really matters. Cleo Jones, what you think? Gregory Adams, Paul Sims, John, what's going on? James, Lance. Man, we got some fighting coming on today. I think actually it's today is the 3rd. Guess what today is, my friends? Today is, let's see if we can find anything on Twitter. Today is the day that the boxer who failed the gender test. Hold on. Let's listen to this.
This kind of fact check, there were a bunch of articles back in 2021 that called her border czar. Frankly, those articles were wrong. And if you look at CNN's own coverage, not to toot our own horn, but you'll see that the White House and Harris's office consistently.
I just ran into this on Twitter. I got to play it. I came back out now.
As early 21, pushed back on that framing.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit.
I do want to say all of this is on CNN, so it's sounding good for Kamala right now.
To the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
One other topic I wanted to talk to you about, but let me just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar has a border district has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border. I'm in Guatemala because my focus is dealing with the root causes of migration. There may be some who think that that is not important, but it is my firm belief that if we care about what's happening at the border, we better care about the root causes and address them.
Well, it's Joe Biden. How are you, Joe Biden? Hey there, folks.
Oh. That was a little bit of moonwalking on Kamala. I think that was probably one of the only times I didn't hear her laugh, but she did laugh at the question of going to the border. If her job wasn't the border, why is she even interviewing about the border? Like, why is she having sit downs on 60 Minutes about how she's handling the border? By the way, if you're new and you're just joining me, you're seeing a receipt in the background. If you're new and you just joined on TikTok at any time lately, you haven't heard me talk about the receipt in the background. That receipt, my friends, is the receipt of a migrant that went to the store. Things are good. Times are good. America's been good to me. I think I'll need to spend about $24, but we all get a receipt no matter what. This is the receipt. Look at the balance. Look at the balance. Food stamp balance. We all know what food stamps receipts look like. I won't say we all know, but for those that do know, EBT cash balance, $4,498. That's $4,500 in cash for a migrant. Food stamp balance, $13,000 plus. And like I said, if you know about selling some stamps or buying some stamps, that particular person is basically walking around with the card worthy of about 10 band. Depending on what neighborhood she's in, depending on who she gets to buy them, he or she. That is sad. How many people? I mean, this is what the taxpayers are paying for. And this is important because no matter what we feel about Kamala, Black, Indian, Jamaican, Asian, white, no matter what, this tells us exactly where, a Venezuelan migrant, a migrant from Venezuela at a New York bodega. Yeah, I forgot that was in the headline. As a matter of fact, I got the video, but I needed to make it a still picture just for this. But it was a Venezuelan migrant. Wow, yeah. And yeah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think every time I say migrant, the TikTok feed goes dead. I mean, literally, because it comes right up. Almost every time I say it, lost connection. It's cool. And so, my point, as the storm rumbles outside, if you're in Florida, be safe. Go get you some sandbags. You might need them. Maybe not. God is good. Either way, no matter what her color is, no matter what her, I won't say no matter what her motives are, but no matter what her color, we see the agenda in front of our faces. We see the agenda with $13,000 food stamp balance for somebody. By the way, my sisters, my poor women, hello, Jeremy, Sharon, Amy, Mike, Banderson. Okay, ooh, Banderson. Yeah, man. Oh, Pammy Ann, how you doing? I remember you. Yeah, and so no matter what your color is, if you know somebody, identify with somebody, woman, man, mostly probably some single mother, struggling mother, but that happens with the guys sometime as well. A guy that may just got out of incarceration most of the time gets about $100 a month. We're looking at a receipt with $13,000 on it for food stamps. Now, what I wanted to say is, I remember getting them. I've gotten food stamps before, but I also have a sister that has received food stamps. I've also had a mother of my children that has received stamps before. What is the pressure that they put on? Especially, the funny thing is, let me be more direct. These things that they call emergency stamps. Like when we get some stamps for the hurricane or whatever, when they give them out to almost anybody in a certain area, you got a time limit. You actually have a time period to spend those stamps. Am I right? All right, Deja Vu said any taxpaying citizen already struggling. Right. You're right. You're right. I actually disregarded a lot of people right then. You're right. So it doesn't have to be about those receiving. Any tax-paying citizen already struggling to put food on the table. Shaking my head. That's right. If you ever receive stamps or some type of assistance during these times, sometimes they actually give you a time limit. If you don't, in other words, if you don't go and spend them now, then we know you didn't actually need them and we will take them. If you don't spend this in a certain amount of time, you have forfeited them. How in the hell does somebody have $13,000 in food stamps? Could you please tell me this? Like, what gate did she come through so I can leave? And how long did it take her to get them? I mean, if it take too long, then obviously I want to stay here and do what I'm doing. But is this a regular? Is this somebody who's getting like $2,000 a month or just a? I mean, obviously this person doesn't need them. Is this like 3 months later after the crab parties? Some snow crabs. I mean, like, is this after? And by the way, $4,400 in cash assistance too. That's for that child that they don't even have anymore because they already got shipped off. This is crazy, man. I'm tripping. I wonder, could I go and I wish I knew a bodega in New York. I need to buy some stamps from that person. Dang. You can do it over the internet now. I need to get in touch with them. All right. Tamara, David. And so I think today is the day. Today is the day. I'm almost sure. I'm almost positive, but not really. But I'm going to say it anyway. I think today is the day that the transgender boxer fights for the gold. Let me look. I'm almost positive. You know what's funny? Listen to this. Ironically, I just learned something else. So what's this country? Let me think. Draw it in, bring it home, bring it back, dial it down. It's a country, Taiwan. Taiwan also, and this is significant. When you think about America, America is Taiwan is an ally, right? Am I right? America is always wanting to protect Taiwan. America right now is ready to be so to speak, they wouldn't have had to worry about it. They didn't have to worry about it before with Trump, but now suddenly America is really, really worried about China invading Taiwan. And so America is acting as if they're on standby. Well, Joe Biden is saying, don't do it. Another red line has been drawn. And what's crazy about that, it is China. I meant to say it is Taiwan. Taiwan, a direct partner of America. How ironic is it that they also have a transgender boxer? I saw it last night on the news and I'm like, oh my goodness. So this transgender boxer from Taiwan is beating up women as well. It's not funny. I hate to say it. Jessica, 1974. Robert Mancini, McInnes. See, hey, look, I don't give up, Robert. I got it, didn't I? Robert McInnes. All right, Sunshine. Yeah, Bruce Spain. Yeah, man, what are the chances? So Taiwan, direct partner, buddy. We know that America has gone around the world trying to spew its spawn and trying to, take its agenda all around to other nations. As a matter of fact, they are paying other nations to take up this trans agenda, even when it comes to school curriculum. And we learned that through a lot of African nations, the African nations that came out and blasted Joe Biden and let Joe Biden know. No, Obama came with the same thing. Oh, as a matter of fact, these African leaders are talked about how Obama sanctioned them, basically starved them if they denied some of those advances and monies to bring particular programs to Africa. And so Joe Biden did it as well. And so now I'm just saying, we see how America is doing that. And then we see that Taiwan, direct friend of, how about Olympics? USA versus Puerto Rico. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's so hypocritical. Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth of USA, but that's how they make their money. That's how they make their money, but they played them in basketball today. By the way, I want you to know, I won money on it. Hey, some people going to say, well, USA won. How did you make money? Puerto Rico covered the points. Ha ha. They thought they was going to beat Puerto Rico down, and Puerto Rico covered. Anyway, I bought a couple. Yeah, man. So America, a friend of Taiwan, and then we look at Taiwan, magnificent. I got it right. So we look and we see that there is another, not the guy from wherever he was from. I don't even know where that guy was from. I was so sad to see the person from Italy who had to quit that I never even paid attention to where that person, the man who was transitioning, the man who was, the guy. I never even paid attention to where he was from. And so I don't know where he is from, but I know when it came to me seeing another transgender who's allowed to box against women, these two people are only in women boxing. By the way, they knew they wouldn't make it against no man. And so they're fighting against women. The other one is from Taiwan. What are the chances, man? Yeah, a direct partner of America. And this guy from Taiwan is beating up on women as well. Beat up on a woman yesterday. However, the match went the distance, but it was a total blowout. Total beatdown. The person just didn't quit. But that's sad. So now we have at this point, and I'm not even talking about qualifications. I'm not even talking about how these young women had to qualify. So I don't know how many women these women had to beat to qualify to go to Paris. All right. But now they're in, is it Paris? Yeah. Now they're in Paris. And now they're in the Olympics. And what happens? They face men. To qualify, they had to fight equal women to qualify. And then they get here after winning so much, after training so much, two of the people beating up women are men for the Olympics. And one of them fights for gold. And to me, it seems like if that one is fighting for gold, I would have to think. I'm just going out on a limb to say this, knowing how, anybody watching the Olympics, they might agree. But it seems like to me for the one transgender who made the Italy woman quit, and I say quit with the utmost respect. It seems like to me for another trans to be in it, and I saw that trans win last night. Well, I didn't see it. I saw the clip. Because I stopped watching the Olympics it's crazy. I haven't watched it. I actually committed to not watching it, and I haven't watched it since I saw the disrespect that they had for Christianity and Jesus. And so I've been just dealing with updates. And so I didn't get to see the full fight, but I know it was a blowout by looking at the points. But for the guy from Taiwan to be in it as a guy, and for the other one to be fighting for the gold as a guy in the women's competition, they should either be fighting each other, which would be great entertainment. I don't understand how America, being that it's all about money now. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. Because definitely this one trans from Taiwan won last night, and definitely we know the one that made the real woman quit from Italy, he won. And so now you have two transgender fighting in women's boxing, and one of them is definitely competing for gold. So I'm thinking either, which would seem impossible, that at some point, if they're not fighting each other, then, did one of those guys lose to a woman? Why would they both not be competing against each other for gold? So I'm kind of, now if that happens, I will watch, because I want to see one of them punch the other one in the mouth, and somebody gonna be a little bit more manly than the other one, and somebody might try to be a little bit more womanly. It might even be some in the ring. I would watch it if it is both of those men versus each other, and at that point they should not call it for the females boxing gold championship. This is ridiculous. This is a slap in the face. It's sad, and our male athletes are almost silent about it. Anyway, yeah, man, that's what we have. The Olympics is representing like that, where men are beating up women in the ring, and one of them will fight for a gold medal today, and I hope he is not beating up another woman for a gold medal today. It's ridiculous. That's what we have to deal with today. Once again, I'm about to get out of here. We got a storm raging, and hey, yeah, man, we got to get prepared. That's what it is. If you're in Florida, God bless you. God keep you. God keep us all safe, no matter where you're at. Actually, some people are dealing with heat crisis all over America right now. May God keep you. So I'm gonna get out of here. Go watch me some UFC, and watch my bets. And yes, Puerto Rico, Commonwealth, but somehow still has to go against America. It's pretty ironic, pretty strange. So it's all about the money, all about the money, all about the money. I did win money with Puerto Rico today. I'm gonna get out of here. Crown Dion, man. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following. Thanks for commenting. Yes, indeed. Man, my thoughts on Kamala, actually, seeing the receipt that I see in the background for those who just joined, that is a receipt of a migrant from Venezuela with about over $13,000 left on the balance, and around $4,500 on a food on the cash assistance. That person does not either doesn't need the money. I know. I know. I know of. I mean, I don't even have to know them. I mean, man, the amount of sisters, the amount of Puerto Ricans, the amount of poor white people, the amount of white people. Yeah, I don't even think you have to be poor to actually say I can use that. You don't even have to be poor. You can be working. And like I said, if you're in the hood and you know what $13,000 worth of stamps mean, that also means about a little bit over $6,000 cash. So we talking about $6,500 and then $4,000. That person is walking around with basically $10,000 in their pocket. You know, that's not a lot of money if you gotta work hard every day and you got a big house or whatever. You got a home to take care of. But for a migrant that just came in and just continue to get handouts, that purse is gonna get bigger and bigger. And guess what? It's gonna get bigger at the expense of the people. However, they are not the people yet. They are not the people. Not yet. Some of them will be, but they are not the people. They are living good on your expense. Some of you couldn't even do what you wanted to do for your mother or your grandmother in that nursing home. Some of you couldn't even, pay off that bill like you wanted to fully do, catch up to this bill or that bill. Even when we can't relate to food stamps, like Deja Vu said, there are regular citizens who are behind on so many different things. Are you mean to tell me somebody broke a law to actually get a dedication of something that could give me $13,000? Or I should say $6,500? $10,000? I don't know how long it took to get that. You can keep your cash assistance forever, but they don't just allow food stamp money to just pile up like that. Or do they? I haven't received them for a long time, so I don't know. But I know when it came to stimulus stamps, hurricane emergency stamps, you had about 90 days exactly to spend those stamps, or you lost them because it was proof that you didn't need them. And so how somebody end up with 13 band worth of stamps is amazing, especially a migrant from Venezuela. Not because they're from Venezuela, but because they're a migrant that just came into the country and jumped in front of so many other actually people waiting on legal immigration. And Venezuela, I think they were one of the groups that started coming. I mean, it's so many people that Venezuelans probably were behind. And so what I'm saying is this person hasn't been here nearly as long as some of our people right on the other side of the border. Not nearly as long. Maybe. Ah, man. Enjoy your day. Buckle down. Be safe in the storm. Have a great weekend. God is good. If you can, bless somebody this weekend. If you can, give somebody a word of encouragement, advice, inspiration, a morsel to eat, maybe a quarter, maybe 50 cents. Hey, maybe $1. We can't give it all to senseless causes. Anyway, let that person look up with thanks to God, knowing that God heard his or her cry. All right, I'm out of here. God is good. This was just something to ponder. You don't have to believe in Kamala Harris's color, but the agenda matters. The receipt behind me tells me the agenda is against the American people. The agenda is working for the migrants. As somebody is amply and rightly, correctly named in my TikTok feed, Bidenomics failed me. That's it. I'm getting out of here. Enjoy your weekend. God is awesome.